Do I get a notification?
Whose is that phone? Is it mine or is it yours?
It's mine.
Gary's.
I'll turn it on.
Okay. Fast.
There we go. We look like we're live. Are we? Yeah. Oh, we've been on for 1 minute 15. Okay. Right. So there you go. So I'll put that there.
Okay.
Right. Hello, everybody. So we're here for Pie Man Live. We have these Wicked Rivers Sam with headphones. Give a wave, Sam. We have Lee in the Pie Man t-shirt, one of the hats, and then we got little Josie down there who looks like, where's Wally? Is it? I don't know. Can't figure out what you got on there.
What's that, mate?
Right, you're gonna need 10 Sam. Right then, so we'll give it about 5 minutes. We'll let everybody sort of come in and catch up. I'm just going to turn this fan down on here. So if you want to talk amongst you. The reason this is happening, I suppose we should say that, is these two guys should be before, but COVID put paid to that. So Josie came up with the idea of just bringing them into Bake Off for a bit of fun, so they're kind of live on tour, just not singing and playing drums.
Ryan Smith says hi from Outlaw.
Outlaw Orchestra said hi to you guys.
Ryan.
Hello.
Right, so message Helen. I need to know everybody that's doing it.
Hi, Mark.
We'll give you 5 minutes. Everybody get in, and then we'll start with the ingredients. If you're waiting, chuck your ovens on 180. Get that going now.
Geraldine said you were a bit blurred.
Bit blurred.
182.
Hi, Oliver.
I'm a bit blurred. Have I got? Let's just make sure.
Is everyone blurred?
Might just be connections that you're having your own house, though. I mean, we look all fine there. We all seem fine, don't we?
Niles says nice hat, Gilbert.
Miles likes your hat.
Good.
Darren Edwards is in.
Darren's doing it.
Paul Damon's in.
Oh, yeah. So we just have to do this roll call of everybody, because I need to make sure, like later on, when we need to check with everybody that they're all up to the same stages. Anyway, so these two guys have got new albums out. You should go and check them out. These Wicked Rivers, really like that Eden one. That's a pretty cool album. The first track, how are you not doing Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Peaky Blinders. I was like, oh my God, that could be like the new one. They should get on that and get you doing that.
I'd be down for that. Funnily enough, that's my favourite track on the album, and it's completely different to everything else.
Yeah, I proper liked it. It's proper Peaky Blinders. Right, so everybody, you three got your ovens on. So 180, if you've got that on. Everybody else that's listening, get your ovens on.
John Atkinson's got his ingredients.
John Atkinson's got his ingredients.
Cool. Hey, John, how's it going?
Do you get to see these messages, or?
Helen's in, little Helen.
Little Helen.
She
Hi,
baking?
Helen. You baking, Helen? I think she said she was going to, wasn't she? Yeah, do you get these messages? Your admin now or not? Do they not fly? Do you get the messages fly or not?
Probably.
I need a big mix in there.
I was
Helen, do it.
technically Christian, yes, but I'm not, so no.
I reckon. Let me just check the time.
Sarah Davis is ready.
Sarah's ready. Good.
Got a few cooking tonight.
Yeah, I know. So 6. I think we've given enough time for everybody to come in.
Helen's baking everything.
Right, so
Girl.
I'll quickly go through what we're making. It's called a Ryders River Mud Pie. So it's a rock and roll take on a jiffy mud pie. It's going to be like a 4-layered cake. You're going to have a Bourbon biscuit base. Then we've got like a really super gooey, spongy brownie type. It's going to be baked into that. We're going to top it with like my famous chocolate ganache, which is like the dogs. And then we put some cream on the top with a little bit of icing sugar. And we're going to put a shot of the cloven hoof rum in there to rum it up.
Can we have shot words, please?
Thank you to our sponsors.
And basically, when it comes out, you end up with a 4-layered. You might have to leave it an hour before you can eat it. because it just
Tom?
needs to. I think we're basically ready to go. Shot good to go. Oh,
Three.
shot words. What words are we having? We need 3 shot words.
Pick one each.
One each. Or Josie, them two won't even have a clue what's going on. Josie, 3 shot words. There you go.
Mix.
Yep,
Mix.
mix.
Okay.
What have we got a shot?
Every time these words come up, you got a shot, Lee.
Mix.
Shot of what? Anything I can get me.
Whatever you want.
So Josie, mix this.
They come up here. Mix.
One.
What about bourbon? Bourbon biscuits.
Bourbon.
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 Sugar, butter, mix, oven, bowl, spoon, apron.
3. So we've got mix, bourbon, sugar.
Right, I'll run through quickly the ingredients. We should have 450 bourbon biscuits, 200 of the butter. You're going to have to shut me up.
What classifies as a shot? I ain't got no shot.
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah, whatever you feel safe.
Yeah, don't go too much too
Yeah,
soon.
Josie's
Lee.
told you, you've got to be
Don't
careful.
eat too soon. There you go.
Oh, Christ, that's like a full shot.
Too hard for them.
See how we like it. I've never had it before.
It's
I'm
actually.
going to be salty before we started.
Oh, tastes like licorice.
Watching, look at those.
Who?
Joe.
Hey, Joe,
No,
t-shirt.
drum. No.
Right then, so we have that, then we should have stork, we should have sugar, we should have flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, vanilla essence, and 2 eggs. That's going to be the buns bit. And then we should have cream, chocolate. Chicken.
Are these going to
Then we
work?
should have- Oh, what?
This is all they had.
Yeah, that's you only want 2 eggs.
Look at
Blue
the
eggs.
colour. Look at the
Blue
colour.
I don't know, what are they? It's probably the dye off of the box.
They are the right size.
Right then, let's get going. So you need 450 bourbon biscuits,
Shot.
and you need 200 of butter. 200 of butter in the pan. Let's melt it down.
You
Oh.
sure? Melting the butter.
Yeah, melt the butter. I'm thinking where to do it for this one because this one gets baked in the oven, so we're not too worried about the greasy sort of taste of it.
Well,
Everybody should have their ovens on at 180. You should have 200 grams of butter melting in the pan. And now you want to bash up your biscuits. Right, I did notice Sam had a hammer. That might be pretty extreme, so you need to go careful with that. Watch you don't bust that bag.
You just said mix, so shot again.
Okay, in a second. Everybody should get your biscuits in a little bag or a bowl if you don't want a bag. And put the bowl in and just give them a bash. Just break them up.
How fine are we talking, Gary? That's the question.
Now.
You do food processor, Gary.
You can chuck it in the process if you want. I'm just going to bash mine up because we're melting the butter this time. You don't necessarily need the.
Hey,
Way with literally with a hammer.
quite therapeutic this
What's
is,
that
I'm not
bag
going to lie.
oh, my bag split.
Don't bust that out. Sam, take your hammer like that and go like that with it.
Like
Use
that?
the top. Yeah, do that because then you won't use the sharp ends on the.
I haven't split no bag. Leader split bag.
Like a nice crummy base?
No.
No.
Can I your butter boiling?
He's now Sam the Hammer.
To be fair, we're quite fond of the hammer.
What do it base?
I have crumbs in there. That's what we have now. Everybody stop the butter, don't burn it.
Not even melted yet. Should probably turn it up.
Yeah, give it a little quick up then. Keep stirring it once you don't burn it. When you've got breadcrumbs done, you need a mixing bowl, you need to just shove them in a mixing bowl. Any sort of bowl.
I ain't got anything done.
Where do you mix it up or something?
Carol's sister enjoying that too much today.
It's quite therapeutic bashing these up.
All the stress out. Has he got his finances on?
Yeah.
How fine does it need to be? That's the question.
Right, so I've got a few lumps in there. It doesn't matter too much, but just get it as fine as you can. Your butter should be melted now. Did I just see Lee's wife in there giving him a hand? Is she in the background?
No.
Are you cheating, Lee?
So, hello. We have a little baby.
Aww.
Hello. Hey, Lee.
He's gone out.
Hello, I can see you. Oh, yeah. Right, so if everybody's mixed their butter up, in with
Mixed it.
Yeah, have you got breadcrumbs? You got your breadcrumbs done? Your biscuit
Yeah.
crumbs? Yeah. Have you put your melted butter into the pan, into your biscuits?
Melted butter into the biscuits.
So you got to put the melted butter into the biscuits and then get it around.
How's Sam doing?
Basically, we're making a biscuit base, like a cheesecake base. That's what we're doing.
Do you add butter?
Do we have butter? Yeah. You should have 2 grams of butter into 450 of mixed up chocolate biscuits. Then you need to. Where are you two, Lee? You look like you're lost.
No, I'm just waiting for my water to melt. Then,
Where have you?
then tip that in the mixing bowl, yeah?
Yeah. So butter in the mixing bowl with breadcrumbs, and you should end up with a gooey sort of.
Like a fishing ground bait. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, it smells nice.
Sorry.
200 of butter into 450 Bourbons.
That's it. Yeah. You got melted butter, yeah? Yeah.
What was the margin?
Then what we're doing, Kerry? I need
Right, is that all?
directions.
That's all mixed in. You need your tin now.
Oh, well.
Right, don't need to
You
grease
need
it.
you need to butter your
Yeah.
tea.
Yeah, not necessarily because we got butter in there, so it's going to be all right. You can grease it if you want, but I never do. So basically, the next step is tip your mix into there.
I can do that. I think I've got the ability to do that. I could be wrong. It's like bloody tarmac.
Geraldine's is wet.
Yeah, it's all wet. I've got like it's just hard to explain. It's slightly different than we've done before, Geraldine. Get that in there. Who's up with me now? I can see Sam's with me. So take yourself, get a spoon, and then just push this around. And we want to go up the sides. I'll start it, and then I'll come back and show you. We basically want to pat it down.
Mine's gone everywhere.
So basically down. I'm spreading it, and I'm pushing it to the edges because I want to build an edge to the cake to hold everything in.
I'm following you.
So people look.
You just got to push it down as much as you can.
Yeah, you're going to build. You want about an inch around the pan. So we want to come up the sides of the pan. Because when we put the cake in a minute, we want the cake to sit inside it.
Do you want it to go all the way up the sides, like right to the top?
Not, you don't have to go halfway. I mean, it depends what size tin. If you've got too small a tin, you'll go a bit higher up. But as long as it's halfway, we're good.
Oh, I see. It's working.
Yeah, you can use your thumbs as well if you want. If you need to manoeuvre it around a bit, you get your fingers in there, whatever you want to do.
Geraldine's done.
Done. Quick. And then the chef.
Like that, kids.
James.
Is that all right?
How did you do that?
Who's done what? I haven't done that.
Right, so if we look at mine, can we see mine? You can see I've pushed the base down and I've come up about an inch up there. You just sort of push the then just push a bit to the sides and then build it up. Just so imagine you can get some liquid in there. You just want to hold that in. Right, so if everybody's up to this stage, this is where you want to bung this in the oven on a baking tray for 10 minutes.
In the oven, baking tray, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Take a note of the time, 10 minutes. I'm just going to crisp that stuff. Just get a nice. Right, so when everybody's got their bases done and they're in the oven, can we all have a thumbs up from everybody and let Helen know, and then we can move on to the next
I don't know
stage.
whose thumbs they
Oh,
are.
yeah, just done.
Done.
Bourbon. Sure.
Bourbon. You're 3 behind, Mark. So
Ah. Oh, wait a sec. Wow. Ah. Or not.
Helen said what number on the oven? She missed it.
180, Helen, 180.
Whew.
Ooh, that's good.
It's about halfway. Is that all right or not?
Whack it in, mate. Just get it stuck in.
Flip it up, let me have a look.
Come on, you need to get it done,
Covered.
please.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, that'll do, won't it? Yeah, that's all right. In the oven.
Darren Edwards is down in the oven.
Darren's in the oven, right, good. You in the oven yet, Josie?
I need a bit
Yours-
of eating time.
I thought Josie was a veteran at this. She should be quite fast by now, surely.
She's probably got one made already, and at the end she's just going to go ta-da, and she's going to have this big fancy thing with all these decorations on, isn't she?
Filling me full of false hope all the time, that woman is. All the time.
He said, what's he do with bananas from 3 weeks ago?
Bananas in 3 weeks ago. I don't know what you're doing then, Simon. Not too sure of that. Too good. Right, is yours in the oven,
Momentum.
Sam?
Yeah, Mum.
Yeah, right. Clean away now. Get yourself some space, and then the next bit,
Simon's in the oven.
we're going to be doing sponge, or the secret little chocolate thing that we have.
So 10 minutes in the oven.
Right. So, can I move on with the next bit or not? No, we'll wait for Joe.
Talk about the albums some more. What's your favourite song from each album, Gaz?
Mine, I like Eden.
Yeah, lost songs.
I'm not writing names. I just know where the tracks are. See, Eden's the first one, and then there's one. What's the one with the video that you're in the woods? Can't remember what that is. I listened to that. The one I posted on our page. I like that one.
Paul Damon in the
I can't. I'm rubbish. I just know when I hear it, I know I like it. I'm terrible with names of band.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one.
What's your favourite song on Lost Souls?
Lost Souls. I like the first track. Is that Lost? Does it kick off with that Lost Souls one? What's the long one? I like that one. What's the one that's like
There's a
not
few.
long?
Like Feel the Fear.
Yeah, I like the money as well, but that's at the end of the album, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the last one.
First or second track, but it's a really long one. It's the first one you released. What was that? That's the one. I like that one.
Lost Souls.
Yeah, so
Lost Souls,
Lost
yeah.
Souls. Then. Is that not the long one then?
You've also got Believer and on there, which is the slower one.
The ballad.
The ballad.
Are you a believer, Lee?
Maybe.
Tommy,
I'm not a Justin Bieber.
It looks ever so beautiful with that hat on. Ever so beautiful.
You need to move your bowl, Sam. People then they can't see you. Is it your bowl or is it your,
And you see your tea towel.
your tea towel?
Ah,
There you go. People want to
people
see
don't. They don't want to see me. They go blind.
you. Right then, is Josie in the oven?
Yeah, she is.
You've only got a t-shirt on, really, ain't you, Sam?
Right, Josie in the oven. Right, so let's crack on with the next stage. This bit now is we're making the spongy, gooey bit that sits in the middle. It's kind of like a brownie type thing. So you want to take, we should have stork, sugar, flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, vanilla, and 2 eggs. That should all be weighed out somewhere for everybody. So first off, take your 100 grams of stork. You could have used butter, but stork for some reason makes cakes better. Can we pop that in a pan and start melting it down? If you're clever, you can just use a pan to melt the butter. No problem. So to save on washing up.
So we're melting the stork in the
So
pan.
melt the stork in the pan, just like we did the butter just now.
How do you be clever?
I've been thinking that most of my life. I've never managed it.
That's why you decided to go to base, because you gave up.
Well, funnily enough, I wanted to play bass first. I remember going to a music shop with my dad and my older brother Jack, and we looked in the window and he was like, "Oh, I like that one." It was a normal guitar. Funnily enough, he plays guitar. And then I was like, "I like that one. It's bigger. It looks heavier. Looks like it could kill me." So, that's how it went down.
Right, so we should have butter on going. Take a cup, 2 eggs that you should have, and crack your 2 eggs in the cup and just give it up.
Sorry, Gary.
2 eggs into a cup.
What did Josie say?
I missed what you said.
So I missed what that last set.
2 eggs in a cup.
Right, last bit, you should have 100 grams of stork in a pan melting.
Yeah.
The same pan as you had before for your butter if you want, save mum washing everything up. And then take your 2 eggs, just put them in your tequila mockingbird cup, and just give them a stir. Any band cup can be used.
No, that's my wine cup.
You drink wine out the Rivers cup.
Yeah. Gary's on the thing.
I could use
Can
the
you see it?
wicked ribbon for that, couldn't I?
You could. I don't even have one.
You don't know.
No.
I haven't got-
So we're just whisking the egg in the cup.
Yeah, just breaking the eggs down, that's all. You just give them a quick breakdown so they're a bit liquidy rather than sugar. Right, so you should have your margarine melting.
Yeah.
Like mine nearly there now.
We've got 3 minutes left in the oven.
Oh, balls, I forgot.
Carol did say another spreads are available. Talks to best.
Yeah.
Because other mine rubbish, isn't it?
Right. My stalk's melted in there. So into that, I'm going to place my sugar, which is 200 grams of caster sugar.
Was it still on the heat?
No, you can take off the heat now. So I've got it in my hand. So you put your
Once
sugar
it's melted.
Yeah, put your sugar in. Whoops, spilling it everywhere. Just give that a stir around. You should end up with like a sugary mix. Take away into the sugar and margarine mix.
Now I've got to make sure this is sugar and not flour that we're using.
So you have sugar mix, margarine, and then put your eggs into that. Now you take
Sugar.
your baking powder, which is half a
Sorry,
teaspoon.
I'm at the cat.
Your flour and your cocoa powder. That goes into your wet.
Hey, slow down, Arcid. I'm only at the sugar.
That's all right. You basically,
Is it the eggs after the sugar?
yeah, chuck your eggs straight into that mix.
Is
So
it
it's the sugar
200 grams of sugar.
That's John.
So what, it's
straight in.
melt butter, add sugar, add eggs, add dry mixture.
Bang on. You got it. Then we just literally just stir it up.
So now do I stir the sugar before I add the eggs?
Just chuck it. Basically, we're chucking it all in. So chuck your eggs in now. You got your sugar in there, yeah?
Yeah.
Chuck it in. And then chuck
Flour.
your cocoa, your baking powder, and your flour.
You broke up then, Gary. You broke up.
Okay, right. So you should have, I can't remember. Should have your margarine and your sugar. You put your
Yeah.
eggs in. Next, you
Yeah.
add in baking powder, your flour, and your cocoa powder.
Cool.
You can see why we have it all weighed out, because if you didn't, you'd be messing around trying to weigh everything out now, and it'd be a nightmare. Forever. And then
The
you
world
basically
wants to see me use scales, though.
basically mix that up, and that's what you should be looking at.
A
We all
nice,
see-
gooey, brown texture.
Like a runny, whatever. Just make sure all the flour's mixed in, all the dry mix.
Like you had a curry the night before.
Do you add the egg in straight away? I'm a bit worried it might turn into scrambled egg.
If you stir it, you put your sugar in, so you put your marge, your sugar, chuck your eggs in, give it a stir, chuck your flour in.
Oh, it's not scrambled.
It won't scramble if you leave it and you've got it on the stove. You shouldn't have it on the stove. You should be off on the stove.
We're 10 minutes from the oven.
Is that right, Gary? Is that looking all right to you?
Let's have a look. I can't see. Where are we? Tip it. I can't see.
Slow
Yeah,
down,
don't-
Sam.
That
Don't
looks
pour
good.
it on the table.
Yeah, that looks good. Right, so 10 minutes is up, so everybody should be taking out their biscuit bases if they put them in the same time as me.
We put ours in at 21 minutes past.
Ours went in at 21 minutes past, so you can get that.
It's going to be Ryders. Where are we putting it, Gary? Where are we putting it? I need direction.
It's got to be on a board or.
Oh, it smells divine. I won't just eat that. Who thought baking bourbons would smell so good?
Well,
That could be your signature recipe now, Sam.
Whenever I get get a girl round or
So you
entertaining someone.
Be able to make it.
for dinner, cooked bourbons.
Shop.
I mean, the world would be impressed.
Oh yeah,
You'd come
sure.
out to cook bourbons.
Everybody
Oh.
shop.
That's about the big one there.
Sorry.
Right. So where's everybody to? Have we all got a nice, funny sort of chocolate mix?
I'm getting there.
Sam's got it. Lee's coming along. Josie's still mixing. What about everybody else? Thumbs up, or can you just message Helen on the comments? Just tell her you're good to go. And basically, what we're going to do next is once that's all mixed up, we're going to tip that into our biscuit base, and then that's going to go back in the oven for 35 minutes.
Mine's lumpy. It's meant to be.
Keep mixing, keep stirring it, and eventually it'll all go to a nice smooth paste.
Darren's got it. James has done.
Right, so if you guys are there, chuck them in straight into your.
Simon Murray's done. What about the girls? John Atkinson, bit behind. That's right, John will wait. Geraldine's done.
Funny.
Yeah.
5 minutes more for the biscuit base. Don't wait for me.
Yeah, that's fine, not a problem.
Right,
To
so
be
that's in.
So basically, if you look there, now I have tipped my chocolate mix, gone into my base. So
Oh,
if,
okay.
if you get base, Ali.
Hey, it's in there, and we're whacking it in for 35 minutes, yeah?
Yeah,
My
I
base
put
is
it on
watery.
together then. So I was going for 35 minutes, same temperature.
35 minutes.
Yeah. So you've got to 10 past. About.
But not at the top of the oven. Put it in the middle to the bottom. At the top, it'll burn.
Does it need to be on a baking tray, or can it just go in normally now?
Put it on a baking tray because you'll get a little bit of leakage out of the your biscuit base because of the butter in there. So you'll end up.
Yeah, mine's on top, Gary.
Keep it on a baking tray.
My butter's on top of the base. Is that bad or good?
Your what? Butter's on top of the base? No, don't worry about that. Chuck it in.
Just whack it on.
Yeah, whack it in. Because what does happen, sometimes you get, when we cook this in a minute, and when it cools down a bit, you can get a little bit of butter come to the top, and you could just scrape it off, or it's sugary butter, but it's what's in chocolate.
Oh.
So it might look a bit, but it tastes fine. Mine the other day, I had a little film of butter across the top. I just chucked the chocolate ganache on it, just hides it. It's not, there's no horrible taste there. Because butter's good. Right, so Sam, like he's in.
Yeah, he's all done, isn't he?
Lee's is looking good there. I can see the way that's running. That looks pretty cool. See, last time, Lee, you literally got given the cake and you only had to decorate it. This time you got to start from scratch.
Well, you see. The easy bit was done for me.
Rosie's very quiet there.
Just making a coffee.
She's making a coffee.
Right, I think me.
Mark told Mark Williams to do 7 shots. He was counting.
I thought ones have risen. Are they meant to have risen?
You've always
What?
risen, is it?
Is that going to rise in the oven or what? What's going to happen with it?
It will rise up. What'll happen is it'll go above that line, and then when we take it out and we got to cool it down, it sinks back down. And then that gives us the space to put our chocolate ganache. But it'll be a pretty gooey sort of in the middle. But you know, like when you have these brownies that are like proper.
Yeah, fudgy.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have.
Choice it has risen.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Joseph's has risen as well.
I'm just patting it down again.
Yeah, that's it. Just put a spoon on it, push it down, it'll be fine. Because you're going to
I'll
put
put this
the
back in the oven now.
How's it risen?
back in the oven, 35 minutes. Have you
I'll
got it on?
make a note of the time this time.
Yeah.
Holdings in the oven.
What's the time? Lee?
So 37 minutes. So it'll be about 12 minutes past. Yeah. Oh, George has done you a nice. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have a look. I've just seen that design, George. I'll have a look in a minute. I'm
That looks
busy at the
cool.
moment. That tastes good, Lee?
Oh, that's lush.
Yeah.
What can we bake off?
Right, so is Josie in or is she still mixing?
Toy said paste in and back in the oven.
Yeah, 35 minutes, Toy. Right, so now's where we get this little bit of a lull. We're going to do the chocolate ganache in a second, but then because we got to wait 35 minutes to this to come out, I'm going to show you some chocolate decorations. I'm going to show you how we can do some teach you. Obviously, none of you have got the ingredients to do. You actually have got the ingredients to do it, but I'll just show you like different kinds of stuff that we can do just
Helen's in the oven. She's set a timer.
for a little bit of a filler. Right, so we'll let everybody get ready.
Paul Damon's in the oven.
And
Is it
then
180?
Yeah, Helen's just said that. Is it still 180?
Yep, still 180. Same
John
temperature.
Atkinson is nearly there.
Looks like everybody's kind of catching up now.
Lee's looking his.
So we can have a little tidy down now. So if you want to just give yourself a little bit of space to work, then we'll do the chocolate ganache next.
I'm happy just sucking the spoon.
Yeah, can we just have a moment to lick the bowls, please?
Feel free.
Absolutely not.
Hear that t-shirt?
I don't know how you got.
Yeah. George is.
So I've just been given opinion. Let's have opinions for everybody. I thought about doing a rock and roll, a Pie Man live t-shirt. So a friend of mine's done the designer, the one who designed the Pie Man things. Can we see that? Does that look quite good?
Yeah, hey, that's all right.
There's Pie Man live t-shirts. Maybe Pie Man live aprons. Cheers, George. We'll have a look at that and then we'll talk after me.
Because that design's awesome that he's done.
Yeah,
isn't it?
George designed these ones.
And then your cousin, your niece.
Yeah, and
painted
that and the t-shirts that everybody's got on. Right, so everything should be in the oven. Hopefully everybody's all up to date now. Feels like everybody is. So let's have a little clear down and then we're going to do the chocolate ganache next. So for that, you want 200 mils of double cream and 180 of dark chocolate, as long as you haven't had it all, Sam.
No, it's just all here. It's just all here.
And if you think you didn't get the 15p Tesco chocolate.
No, I didn't. I got the fancy Dr. Oetker business. We're in business.
Fancy chocolate is good. You can't beat fancy chocolate.
Right, so did you say 200 millilitres or the 400 millilitres?
200. This is we're doing the chocolate ganache first, so the 200 ml first.
Oh, so you need so we need 400 in total, but 200 separate.
No, you should have
100 in total.
100 in total. So you should, basically, it's nearly a pint. If you haven't quite got enough at the end, that doesn't matter because you just have a thinner cream there. But we want 200 mils now.
Yeah.
What we're putting in? Was it?
Pop it in a pan and then put it on the heat.
Wow.
And warm it.
Another pan?
This has got to be a different pan architecture.
Everyone needs to keep an eye on this milk on the pan because you'll burn it like I did last time. If anybody remembers, we did for that one. It just overflowed everything. So you need to keep an eye on it.
Right, so we're whacking the cream in and the chocolate in all at once, no fear.
200 mils of cream in a pan. Warm the cream up first.
Right,
Otherwise,
okay, boss.
be melted gently. Otherwise, it gets knackered.
That's like me on the night out, that does.
Well, me after the
Warm up the cream.
So, warm it up slowly.
Quite a sensual process this is.
Geraldine said just missed that.
Right, Geraldine, you want 200 mils of cream in a little saucepan, stick it on the stove, get it warming up. Stay, watch it, don't take your eyes off it, otherwise it just goes everywhere. I did this last time, so watch it, Geraldine. If anybody's going to burn it, it'll be you.
That's not very nice.
Oh, no, Jez is terrible. She's a terrible cook. She really is.
We're supposed to be filling her with confidence.
Some good things.
We had what
What
was it? Oh, she did the banoffee. She cut the banoffee out first time,
Made it again.
redone it, nailed it. This is what it's
I
all
am like
about.
that banoffee pie, you know.
Nailed it.
Perhaps she's good at savouries.
No, I remember going there for dinner and she burnt everything. The cauliflower cheese, and I remember that with Derek and that.
How much, Mark?
Mark, the chocolate's 180 grams, but you don't need it yet until you got your cream hot.
Sabotage.
How hot are we talking? That's the question.
It just wants to start coming to the boil, so it'll start bubbling, then turn the heat off.
Right.
Don't overdo it because it gets a skin on it like I got.
If you keep stirring it, you won't get skin. But basically, we want it like, basically not boiling because that's when it boils over. But we need it hot enough to melt our chocolate.
Beautiful.
But this is
If
the end of the world's best truffles. If you have a little bit, if you keep a little bit of this mix left, and then tomorrow when it's set up, you can roll it in little balls and then just dust it in cocoa powder. It's amazing.
George said he was desperate for banoffee pie, so he made it with a cornflake base. He said it was really good.
Cornflake lace, yeah.
Right.
Right, my cream's pretty hot now.
Hey, it's boiling. It's boiling.
Yeah, take it off the heat now.
Add the chop.
Once, as you can see, I've got steam and everything. Take your chocolate, tip it in, and then just leave it. Leave it on the stove. There, off the heat now. Nobody shove it on the heat. Leave it there for about 30 seconds, and then we'll whisk it up, and then we have this amazing chocolate sauce.
I hope it melts, you know. I've not got much faith in this chocolate melting.
Yeah, you broke it down a bit, didn't you?
No,
It depends how much you think breaking down is in my books. That's the trouble.
mine's in cubes.
Cubes. See, I'm posh. I'm fancy. I have chocolate chips, but then I can buy great big bags.
Well, if it don't melt, I can just stick it back on the heat for a bit, can't I?
You can do. It'll melt as long as you have that milk hot, cream hot enough. But all of a sudden, in a second, we'll give it about another 30 seconds, and then we'll mix it around, and it gradually just all goes in. It goes all silky, and I love chocolate ganache. We use this shop for our stuff.
Heat off, chocolate in.
Right, Josie's gone. I don't see Josie.
She's eating chocolate.
Yeah.
I can hear her.
I'm doing it really slowly this time because I burned it last time.
Ah, right. It sounds like you're eating it, though.
Yeah, she does.
Why? Where that was?
You'll see.
Oh, Mark James said he had ginger nut and Bourbon cream base for his banoffee pie. That sounds lush. Ooh.
So we should kind of be there now. So if you take a little tiny whisk or a little metal spoon and basically just gently stir your mix in.
Hey, you told no lies. It's melted. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he's on about.
He's done it.
You just keep stirring it. All of a sudden, it all like comes together. I find
Hey, I'm
this
sorry.
one satisfying process that I do. I don't know why. I love watching it, and it just goes from like white to like glossy chocolate. Therapeutic. I don't know.
If you've got any spare cream, put it in your coffee. It's really nice.
I've seen your coffees, Josie. Diabetes in a cup.
Delicious.
Just
feel
keep
ever
mixing.
so naughty with the metal on metal.
Yeah, I mean.
I feel like I'm going to do something I shouldn't to the pan.
Right then, so now, has everybody got a wonderful chocolate sauce? It should all be mixed in now.
No, not yet. I'm getting
It's
there.
getting there. It's getting there. We're not far off, you know.
Yeah, just keep stirring until all the lumps are gone. And then we need to tip this into a little bowl and get it in the fridge down a little bit.
Little
what?
bowl of fridge.
Little bowl.
And then we've got to whack it in the fridge, apparently.
Wait a minute, I've eaten too much. I need to put some more in.
You know, you're telling me for weeks, don't drink the cloven hoof, and you're eating the ingredients as we're going.
Well, I haven't drunk the cloven hoof. But chocolate's different, isn't it? It was talking to me.
But maybe the alcohol talks to me. You never know.
Boy just said if Gary can get anyone to cook, what she's got anything to do, then she can get anyone to cook.
We haven't had shots for a while.
Right, you need some
Bourbons?
Bourbons. Nick,
That's it.
How's the mixing going?
Simon said, do what with it?
Do what? Do what with what, Simon? Is that your chocolate? So you should have your hash all mixed in. You got that nice silky. Just get it in the fridge. It just needs to set up a little bit. We don't want it properly set because we're gonna pour it on top of our thing. How good does that taste, Sammy?
Oh, that's beautiful,
Ooh.
that is.
One thing I did sort of forget to mention, depending on how boozy you want a shot of that chocolate would give you a rum chocolate, like rum truffles.
Could they put it in now, mix it?
You only want about a shot, half a shot. That'll do, yeah. Just mix that in, and then you'll have a chocolate rum ganache now. You don't have to do that, obviously, but
Simon said, do what?
Be
with
rude not
chocolate?
to. Be rude not to.
yeah. And I'm going to have rum in the cream on top of my cream with the chocolate sauce. Goes, who was that?
Simon Murray.
Simon Murray. You should have put your cream. You should have melted it, heated the cream up. When it gets just to the boiling point, you should take off the heat, chuck in your chocolate, leave it for about a minute, and then stir it up, and then you end up with a chocolate sauce. And that needs to be popped into a bowl and then put in the fridge. If you want to put a little shot of rum in it, or whiskey, or Tim, or whatever you sort of fancy.
Geraldine said, could you show what it looks like?
Don't you just love the sound a cork makes when you pull it out of a bottle?
Geraldine could have like just like a runny chocolate sauce, because it will set back up. Give it a knock. That goes hard.
Take truffles out of it, can't you?
So if they don't want to put all of this on their cake, if they want to keep a little back, what one did we do it for? The chocolate mousse cake.
Cookies cake.
I show you all how to make truffles. And all you do is to take a bit of that, roll it in your hands, and then dust it in cocoa powder, and it makes the most amazing chocolates.
Mark James said he had the hoof at Stillhouse, and he had some great cocktails with it up there.
Oh yeah, Stillhouse, yeah, they had hoof there. They were over in the corner, weren't they?
Do I put the chocolate in the fridge now, Gary?
Yeah, put that in the fridge.
I'm putting it in my coffee.
Can I eat the rest of it now? Do I need the rest of this bar, or can I eat it?
You can eat that, or you can use it to grate over the top. You want to eat it, Sam? You go ahead and eat it, mate.
I'll eat some of it, but I like the sound of the grating.
Yeah, because if you over the
This
top,
sounds great.
the last stage is going to have like a rum cream. So it's like a lightly whipped cream that we spread over the top. And you can just grate chocolate across the top of it. You can sift icing sugar. You sift cocoa powder. You can grate the chocolate that you got there, just to give a top into it.
Bibbly bobbly.
How long have I been in the oven?
I think ours went in at 37.
You've got another 18 minutes. That's fast.
Right, so we got a little bit of a lull now because we've all caught up. So what about if I show everybody how to do some chocolate decoration?
But how long will it keep for? Oh my god, a week?
What?
The
Oh, the cake. Yeah, it's fresh cream. So basically, you're going to go off of your fresh cream. So if your fresh cream date is next Thursday, that's how it's going to keep.
But the
Obviously-
ganache will keep.
Oh, the ganache keeps for
ages.
because it's cooked in the chocolate and it's warmed up and it keeps for like a good week, 2 weeks. Not a problem. Obviously, you need to keep it in the fridge.
Helen's got 20 minutes to go on hers. She was a bit behind us, though, didn't she?
Right. So.
Food colouring in mine.
Hey, get your fingers off that screen, you.
Now,
Let me just show you this here. I haven't done these for about 20 years since I was a chef, but I had to do them. So I had a little run through. So they're like little what they call chocolate runouts, and basically I can make some swans to go on top of our river pie. So I was going to do that, and then I got
After
various
the
different
snake.
experiments. But these are like so easy to make. And it sounds weird, but I'll show you.
Geraldine forgot a vanilla essence. Does that matter?
Forgot mine as well.
Josie's got hers.
Oh yeah, I forgot mine as well.
They are.
What's that? What you forgot?
What to
I
put vanilla in.
had a sponge.
Vanilla. Was that
Vanilla.
That should have gone in the sponge. See, we always screw
It
something
doesn't
up.
matter, though, does
It
it?
ain't gonna matter. But that should have gone in the sponge. So
I'll
vanilla
drink it
essence.
instead.
whack it in the hoof and see if it tastes all right. You never know.
Hey, I like that. Let's go.
Right, so that there, if you take a piece of paper, people won't need to do this. I'm just going to show you how you make a piping bag. So you take a piece of this rectangle. Actually, probably going to need to unplug people and take you down here. I think that would be best, and then you can see close up what I'm doing. How long have I got on my cake? I'm all right for 10 minutes?
Got about.
Right, so bring you to here, and I'm going to basically see if we can teach you some of this, just while we're whiling away, like sort of 10 minutes. So you want a rectangle piece of grease paper, and you turn it so you end up with a triangle, like so, with like a little bit on the end there. It's really hard to explain actually how you do it, but then you cut it. That's good. You can get there. So basically, we're looking for that type of shape there, like a triangle. But you should have a little bit missing. So that bit missing is the important part. And then you take your hand and you pop that bit in, your hand there, cup it around with your thumb, take the corner, and then just keep turning it around. And then you make a piping bag. So we end up with a little piping bag like that, and that comes out of the paper. And these are great for just doing a bit of chocolate. Then you take melted chocolate, so like the chocolate we had, so people before would probably have known when we melt chocolate, you melt it over a pan of water.
Hey, Marie.
So a pan of water, pop your bowl in there, and you always heat chocolate up that way, because then you don't burn it and crystallise the chocolate. So then when you could end up with a nice runny chocolate, of which take it's always a bit tricky doing this on your own, but you take a spoon and then you just pour the chocolate in the piping bag.
George said he had a hat like that at school, but it had a D on the front.
Right, so, and then basically you sort of take your bag and you turn the edges in. I know this is technical for everybody, but if you can make these piping bags, you can buy them. And then you've basically got like a little pen now. So this is like the things you buy in the shop, isn't it? You can get them already with the icing in and stuff. You end up with your chocolate there, and you need to just pinch the end off, not too much, just snip a tiny little bit off, just so the chocolate can come out. As you can see there, can you see it pouring down? So now you should, but you don't want it too thick, it should be nice and thin. You take a sheet of greased piece of paper, pop it down there, and basically you can just write. Do you want to come and just pull this up so people can see? So we can write, we can do words. Basically treat it as a pen. See where we're going with that? Go ahead. There it is.
Hey, we're getting a chocolate logo.
Chocolate logo.
This is all you need to do just to write on your birthday card. It doesn't have to be fancy. But and then you let that set up, and it ends up being like these. And then you can just, you could either pipe that straight onto your cake, or you let it set up and we end up with these little decorations in. You peel them off like that. Oops. But the only thing is, they're hot. Because my hands are hot, they start melting really quick. But you need to.
You want Ryders Creed now? And then you've got to do Tequila Mockingbird.
I can't do everything. I want to show people how to do these ones.
Yeah.
But then ones there, you can just, I mean, there is a few different shapes. There was one that we used to do like that. And the quicker you go, and then you peel these off, and then you just stick them sort of on your cream around your edge of your cakes. There's them. You can do butterfly, you can do like sort of triangles. The thing is, need your glasses on, I can't bloody see.
Spider's web.
Spider's
Yeah.
web.
You can have triangles like that.
Now, by the way.
You can do this, Josie. Once you get the piping bag, it's not that sort of hard. But if you go online, there's loads of designs.
I eat it too quickly. Is the ganache meant to be in the fridge yet?
Yeah,
It's supposed to be in the fridge ages ago.
So, I've done a few various designs there. A swan, which I've done over there. So you literally just sort of do a swan's head, do a little beak, and then just do a neck and then a body. So I've done it like that, and then basically just flood your chocolate in there. Anyhow, because it's warm, it'll find its own base, and you can just push that around.
Looks like a snake.
So now you've got a swan. Believe it or not, that will be a swan in a minute, and then you just do the wings, which are like so. You see them wings? So them wings there. So what we'll do in a minute with the others, I'm going to pipe a bit of cream like that. Then we stick the chocolate in there and the wings the other side. Then you get like a little chocolate swan. You can pop them on. What other things is there we can do? You can do butterflies. I tried doing a butterfly, but I'm crap. I needed to get under it. That there was supposed to be a butterfly. That looked nothing like a butterfly. It's like a deformed butterfly with like different wings. But you can trace, if you're unsure about what you want to do, you can trace underneath and then just pipe over the lines. That's what a lot of people do, because they pick all their designs out. And this is another great one. Let's see if I don't know, I've got enough chocolate. But if you make a thicker line and longer, right, see how big I've done that? Yeah?
I can.
So, and then, so you want thick on the outside, because we were going to pick this up. And then we're going to run out of chocolate, but you'll get the idea. So then you want thinner lines next. Delicate one. But this is what a lot of these fancy shops put out. run out of chocolate. I'm not going to be able to get that. I'll have to make another bag.
What are you making there?
But slight thing is, I've run out of chocolate, so I think you better finish this. Right. If I show you that, see how big that one is there? Now, if you'd have carried on doing that all the way through, let that set up, you can pick that up and you'll have a tall one like that. If you get 8, you can put them on top of your gatto like that. And then it's like a divider on your gattos. It makes your cake really high and it looks really fancy. It's like lace work. You get about 8 of them and then you literally put a bit of chocolate down there and you stick them all together and you get a chocolate cake with a massive like thing on the top. It's really, and it's not hard to do. So there's just a few different sort of designs, but go and practice. And then the beauty of this is, if you do all this up and you mess around with a bit of chocolate, you must use decent chocolate, not that 15p shit, Sam, because that just won't work. But at the end of it, if you don't want to use it, you just scrape it off, put it back in your pan, and then you can go again. So you don't waste nothing. If you mess this up, you just like the wings there. I just pick them up and just put them back in the pan. They just come off the paper, so you don't waste nothing.
Do we need to check your cake? I'm just going to check the time.
Right, we need to check times on cakes. Well, it's just about to do that, but that's just.
It's supposed to be out at 12 past.
Right, we've got another 5 minutes on our cake, so we can't be too far beyond.
Mine's expanded beyond its Bourbons, is that right?
Yeah,
Shot.
yeah, sure. Yeah, it'll go above the Bourbons. That's not a problem because it's going to sink back down. Because if you imagine like a brownie mix, they always rise up and then they just deflate down.
Not too bad with that vanilla extract in it, you know.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all
Takes the
right.
edge off.
You put vanilla in the hoof.
Yeah,
You did
Yeah.
this in the hoof.
we had to make use of it somehow.
I bet vanilla's in the hoof anyway. I bet
Pouring it
you-
out.
They won't have the ingredients.
Well, what everybody could do as well is dig a little space in your fridge to get this cake. Because the only problem is this is coming out super hot and we kind of need to cool it down a bit for the next stage. Otherwise, I mean, if I was doing this at home on my own, I would leave this about an hour, but we can't just wait around an hour. I'll go ahead and do mine. If people want to watch me do it, and then maybe leave there sort of 10, 15 minutes. We missed it.
What's his name?
What was his name, Lee? Was it Connor, did you say?
Alfie.
Alfie. Hello, Alfie. My friend, he's got a little lad who does it, and he was on there, kept sending him messages, eating the chocolate, and he was like, Jack, leave the chocolate alone. He was freaking out. He was like, how can he see me eating the chocolate? That was hilarious.
He just wants to grab everything.
Bless him.
You got another one in the band as well now, just have one, wasn't it? And Rich had one, didn't he? That was
Yeah, Rich as well.
little boy, 2 boys. Okay.
Pure Creedlings.
Bill Creedlings.
Give him a
When-
few years.
when
and
we all
he'll
get-
take him out. What was that?
When we're all getting back into live music, no one knows.
I know these were
No one
knows. Those Down Crows, aren't they, at Trevoli? That's
That's
9th
next
of
year, though, isn't it?
April. Yeah. That looks
Oh, yeah.
really big, though.
That was a good little gig. These Wicked Rivers got, wasn't it, with the Crows?
It'll be
Yeah,
all right,
that's
that. It'll be all right.
Yeah, Friday night. Get there on Friday night.
I'll give you a day off. You can come.
In Trefoli, isn't that the one that's like the top of Wales in the middle of nowhere?
It's all right. I'll look after
I've
the
never
shop for
played
the
that.
day.
Yeah, no, you're all right. We'll have nothing left. I'll come back, there'll be no chocolate, it'll all be gone.
Right, we might 3 minutes.
Right, so I have 3 minutes on my cake. And then I'll be out, and then I think a few others are out just after me, aren't they? They're not pickling too far behind me.
Hey, we've got another 5 minutes left yet, sunshine.
Another 5
I
minutes.
think
Here we
I
go.
was,
In house.
I think I was 12 past.
My cake's cracked. Is that meant to happen?
Doesn't matter. No problem.
Going to be covered over now.
Cracked actually is the sign of a good cake.
Ooh.
It's basically a brownie mix, and they all sort of crack and whatever across the top. What did you taste your chocolate ganache, Sam, with the rum in? What was it like?
It was all right. It was
Yeah.
quite nice. Had a little bit of a kick.
John Atkins put JD in his.
Yeah, JD at work.
It's not half bad, you know. I'm not usually a rum kind of guy, but this is all right.
Yes.
Do my rum.
No.
What are you using as a mixer, apart from vanilla essence?
There's roller cola in it.
That was my rum for my birthday last week. It's Deadhead rum. It's like a head on there, and that is. It was an expensive bottle, but it is really nice. Literally, just drink it. It's not like spicy rum. But
Simon Murray's taken his cake out now. Minnie.
To show the states.
right, so I got to go on mine. I'm gonna whip mine out.
You're doing it early, Gary. What are you doing?
Too early.
Too early.
No.
Right, so cake out, and then I'm gonna cool that down.
Lee's got a little bit longer.
He's got longer yet. You're all right.
Got 5 more minutes.
Banjos.
I'm waiting until 12 minutes pass because I'm a good boy. I'm not a rebel like Gary, you see.
But you might be careful when you take it out. You might notice you got a bit of fat that's come out of the butter in the pan, so don't go burn your hands. Just be careful. What we're going to do then is try and get them in the fridge. We'll cool it down for about 5 minutes. Try and get it in the fridge for 5. Like I said, ideally we need to leave this for sort of a minimum half an hour. We just haven't got half an hour to do it. Go ahead and do mine. If you guys want to follow me or you want to wait the half hour, it's entirely up to you. Everybody doing it. You decide what you want to do.
When you're done, do you turn the oven off now?
yeah. Yeah, oven's done with, so when you get it out, you can turn the oven off. But you can leave it in the tray. We don't need to take it out of the tray yet. You can take that out when you, not the tray, the spring base. Don't need to take it out of that. Just leave it in there.
How's it go?
Spring base.
Yes.
2 more minutes. It won't make a difference. But I don't want to take it out.
Problem, especially because yours has got 6 grams too much in, hasn't it?
6 grams too much, yeah. 6 grams of too much bourbon, you see.
Yeah.
Sure.
You should have just eaten a biscuit.
You'd be surprised how much weight there is in a bourbon. What? You didn't weigh any of yours, did you? See, you don't know how much bourbon it is.
Yeah, you didn't do it.
Geraldine said her up a little bit. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's not a problem, Geraldine. Some of them will raise up, some will do, but you'll notice in a minute they'll all start to sink a bit and they'll sag in the middle. But we don't mind this sag in the middle because that's where we're going to fill it with our chocolate.
Hey, that looks nice. It's got movement. It's like it's got something living inside of it.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
took it out a minute early.
That means
Hey,
you're
don't question.
I don't know,
Turn
Sarah.
the oven off now.
Sam's disappeared.
Where's-
He's in the oven.
right. Is it out?
It's out on the side.
Oh, I
Magic.
need to do mine now.
Yeah. To be fair, it won't because this is one of these ones that if it's gooey, it actually tastes better.
Geraldine said goes down.
Yeah, just leave it, Geraldine. Don't touch it. It'll naturally just sink down.
Mine smells
Can't
burnt.
help herself though. She loves having a fiddle with what she's doing. That's why she keeps eating the ingredients instead of using it.
Sorry, Sam, missed that.
I said she likes having a fiddle, doesn't she? That's why she keeps eating the ingredients instead of using it.
Yeah.
Looks and smells good. And
I think my folks are home now.
Good.
Dog's going mental.
Right, there's mine, and we're going to go into the. As you can see, you've got a thing there, so we're going to get that into the fridge now. Get that going.
With the baking tray or without the baking tray?
I've just put mine on a plate. You don't want the baking. Basically, it's cool down as quick as we can. So take it off the baking tray. I've got mine on a plate, so pick it up, put it, and then I'm just going to pop it in the fridge.
I can do that.
Who's got a dog?
That's my dog. That's my little beagle. That is.
Sounds like a big beagle.
No, she's only little. It's because the folks have come back, so she goes a bit loopy at the window.
What's up, my mate?
What's happening with this chocolate sauce? Are we taking it out yet? This chocolate ganache, sorry. We don't want to use
we're going to
terminology.
5 minutes. We're going to tip that onto our spongy biscuit cake. We just need it to cool down slightly, and we just need it to sag in the middle a little bit.
Patricia said to Sam 2-0.
Patricia said to you, Sam, it's 2-0. What's that?
Patricia South.
I don't. That's Dan's mum. That's Dan Boy's mum. Oh, she's going to have to go over the 2-0. I'm not sure what that means.
Who do you support?
Oh, she'll be on about Coventry, if anyone. But I don't know.
They got promoted, didn't they? They went up.
Yeah, they got promoted. I'm a casual follower. I just have a gander how they're doing every now and then. You see, I'm not massively.
A casual follower.
I'm casual. I'll have a gander every now and then.
I needed higher Bourbons.
Right, so everybody's coming out the oven now, so hopefully everybody's taking off the trays. If you're going to go with this next bit, you need to get them in the fridge. But if you don't want to do it, you want to wait half an hour, just follow exactly what we do in half hour's time. Does that make sense for everybody? What are you three do? Are you going to follow me and go with me, or are you going to leave and wait?
Mine's in the fridge, boss.
Yeah, cool.
I'm going to wait because mine's precarious looking. I don't think it needs any extra risk added.
Let's
I've
have a
got,
look.
got a grand picnic tomorrow, and this is going to be the showpiece, so I can't afford to take any risks. So I'm going to. It's just.
So this is, you need to wait on then.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Literally,
wait. I'm gonna watch it
What's
then.
still hot, the chocolate's going to quite not
You're going to put it in the
set.
fridge?
You can chuck it in the fridge now anyway, it won't hurt. But basically, what we're going to do is pour that chocolate sauce on in a minute, and then let it set. And then, cream hot, you want it like proper cold, really, before we put the cream on.
I think I've burnt mine.
Who's burnt them?
Me.
You haven't burnt it, have you?
It smells a bit burnt, yeah.
You had it on 180, didn't you, your oven?
Yeah.
He's looking. It'll be all right.
It'll be fine. I'll still eat it anyway, it don't matter.
See
I'll tell
it?
you what, get it all covered up in a minute. You even notice it. Right, so for the people that are going to carry on doing it, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to whip up my rum cream. So you need your 400 mils of cream.
All right.
You want 400 mils of cream. You want a couple of tablespoons of ice and sugar. And then you want your shot of rum. Optional, obviously.
Darren
Right.
said his
We're going to
stage
need another pan, aren't we?
It will not.
It'll be crispy, won't it?
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry.
Do we need a pan or is this a bowl job? What are we doing?
I've got a little bowl, or basically, no, I'm going to change because I'm going into this.
I've run out of bowls.
You need to get someone to wash you a bowl up then.
Are you using a jug? He's using a jug. That's not a bowl.
It has high edges. It makes it easy. It stops it splashing everywhere.
I'll use the jug.
So Helen lost 5 minutes of us. She hasn't missed anything, has she?
No, you haven't missed nothing, Helen, because we're just literally waiting for stuff to come out of the oven and cook. You to catch up. Once yours comes out of the oven, you need to take it straight, heat it in the preloaded base, and then you need to pop it into the fridge.
400 in it.
Right, what are we putting in the cream?
Sorry, Sam?
What are we putting in the cream?
2 tablespoons of icing sugar and a shot of rum.
Right.
Yours is just thick, Jeremy. Take yours out of the oven. It won't be a problem. You're just going to have a thicker.
Take it out.
Take it out of the fridge. Right? Out of the fridge so you don't set up. But it won't be a problem for you. It's just going to have, it'll just be a thicker chocolatey.
Oh.
Right, so I've got icing sugar through. A bit of spice. And then we want to put this up, but we don't want whipped cream. So I don't want it to go as far as whipped cream. We want like a nice thick, do you know at Christmas when everybody buys that extra double thick cream that kind of just plonks out? That's what we want. I don't want peak. So it's about 2 minutes before for those who know what it is.
So, Gary, I've washed my bowl.
You want your bowl? You want good
Now we put the cream in.
straight in the bowl. You want about 2 tablespoons of icing sugar in there, just to sweeten it up. Or you got normal sugar, put that in. 2 tablespoons of that. And then you want a shot of your rum. Are you doing rum in it, or are you keeping it kiddie friendly?
Oh, yeah.
So you want a shot of rum in it.
It don't seem to be changing texture much, this.
No, it takes ages.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got a hand whisk, you can like whisk it up. We got time because we're waiting for that to cool down. So but normally I'd whiz it up in my whisk, my hand one, my electric one. But you've got to be careful. You don't. Got to be careful. You don't go too far.
A shot of rum.
Yeah, shot of rum in there. And if you taste it up a little bit, have a little taste. If you want it sweeter, add a bit more icing sugar. If you want it more rummier, add a bit more rum. So have a taste, see what you think.
And now we need a whisk.
A bit more sugar.
Have I got a whisk? Yeah, where? Me? We haven't. Where's the electric one? Where's the electric one?
Not a problem.
And the bits in there. Healthy. Right, I'll just get my hand whisk out.
Oh, fancy. That's fancy, that is.
Well, I'll show you when I get there. Go there, I'll show you when I get there.
A bit loud.
Who's got a whisker there? Who's cheating?
It's like
The Josie whisker.
It's Lee.
Lee, is it?
Yeah.
Don't get whiskey, Lee.
Don't what?
Yeah.
It don't seem to be doing anything. It's still very much.
How far do I go? Because I think I'm there already.
Is yours all not creamy, Lee?
Mine's all creamy.
Is it thick? I don't know what I've done wrong.
What have you?
Have you got a hand whisk?
What? Get a tablespoon. Let me have a look. Yeah, that's more of a pulser.
Yeah, I would use that, Lou. Oh, actually. You just spilled all over.
Actually, that's pretty much it. That's what you want. Yeah.
And that's how you do it, boys. In a minute.
What is
Huh?
Rummy?
Mark James's looks like cream cheese.
Yeah, pretty much. That. Right, there you go. Right, I'm there now.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Look, what we call stock heat. So that you can just sort of spread it off, but it's not whipped as in, like, I wouldn't be able to pipe it. So, yeah, it's... Yeah.
Mine is still very much liquid, Gary. I don't know what I've done wrong.
Yeah, you probably
Whisk
just
harder,
need
Sam.
to whisk it.
Whisk harder.
How big's whisk? Have a look at whisk.
You
Yeah,
got
it's
to
quite-
whistle and stir it, Sam.
Put your wrist into it.
Yeah, I've got a big
I've
whisk.
been going for ages.
Just keep going, just keep going. You'll get there, trust me.
It'll all of a sudden just go.
Yeah, it's like the chocolate. You said that wouldn't melt. We got there, didn't we?
Hey, keep my faith in you. I'll keep my faith in you.
Right, so if everybody looks at mine, you can see I've got like a... It's very light and airy, and we can just spread it over. Yeah, that's it, Lee.
Yeah.
Don't mix it more, because yours is plenty enough. Right, while we're waiting, get it in the fridge, pop it in the fridge. If not, don't worry too much.
I've done something right for once in my life.
From Solo Sam.
From Solo. I don't have the rhythm. It's still the same. It's still very much the same.
with your rhythm stick. Hit me. Hit me.
Right, so we're just waiting on Sam. Josie, you'll wait. Have you whipping your cream, or are you just going to leave it all till later?
I might start whipping my cream in a minute, yeah. But my cake's still really hot. I put it in the fridge, but it's...
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, we should really leave it for half an hour, but we can't wait another half an hour because I've got nothing else to do.
Yeah, John Atkins is waiting.
Yeah, so
Containers.
while people are whipping the cream up, I'm going to take my chocolate ganache, which has been in the fridge. Those that are going to do it in about half an hour, you might want chocolate ganache out of the fridge now because you don't want to set it up too much.
Helen
'Cause we
said
need
we
to be
should
able
have
to
had
pour it.
fridge as the shop word.
Fridge is a chocolate. Yeah. So basically, if you're going to wait, take your chocolate out now because it's had enough chance to cool down a bit. You want to keep it runny texture. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and I literally just chip chocolate sauce. You can see it, mine's pouring. Literally.
Yum.
I'm just going to pour that, all of that, straight onto the top of my cake.
I'm going for it.
Boom. So ideally, like I say, ideally we should wait for the cake to cool down a bit. But I need to get through it just to show everybody what you've got to do. So I'll put all of
I'll
that.
wait a bit longer.
It's still the same, Gary. It's still the same.
You've got to keep going. You're not getting the muscles in. You've got to whisk it, not stir it. You've got to get short actions. Short actions.
Whip it like a hawk.
Right, so I've got my chocolate in. Now you can see I've literally just poured that whole of my ganache across the top. So it's like gone like a sort of, almost looks moussey like now. You see that?
Wow.
So that's what everybody should have. But obviously you all might want to wait a little bit because I'm doing this far too soon really. So I'm going to get this back in the fridge.
I'm waiting.
And then that chocolate will set up. And then it'll go like a nice thin chocolate fudge across the top. Geraldine's, because you've got your mix the wrong way round, all you're going to end up with is probably like a harder chocolate in the middle. It's not going to be as fudgy. It might be just a bit more like a chocolate bar, but it ain't going to matter. It's still going to taste good, you know, because you can't have too much chocolate, can you, Josie?
Right. Never succeeded yet.
So basically, have it in the fridge cooling down. If you're following suit, you can pop your chocolate on like I just done. You just pour it on. If yours sets up, you're waiting a bit, like you, Josie. If yours sets up a little bit, pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds. Not a lot, and it'd just be enough just to stir.
Mark, could he put his in the freezer?
Yours is pretty. What kind of chocolate you got?
Ooh.
You haven't done chocolate. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
I put it in the fridge and it came out pink.
Pink. What would you put in it?
I put white chocolate and pink food colouring.
Okay, you're making different. Right, okay. So you'll freak everybody out. Everybody be panicking now, going, I haven't got her colour. What have I done wrong?
Can you put it in the freezer?
Well, you can pop the cake in the freezer if you want to speed it up a bit. If you've got big enough freezer space, I haven't, so I've only got a little tiny drawers. But that will work.
How's this? Is this looking better?
Bourbon.
Is that better? I don't know. It's sticking to
Let's
the
have,
whisk now.
let's have a look.
Sticking to the whisk.
Is that right? Spoon?
Talk. Goes to him.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
talk, go to you.
I'm talking. Is it to me? Is that
No.
is that where it needs to be? Or does it need more?
I can't see.
There now.
Oh, he's there now, right. Right, pour some out with your spoon. Pick your spoon up. Let me have a look.
Bit more, I think.
Oh, you talk, Lee.
A
Sorry.
little bit more by the looks of it.
Talking. A little bit more. A little bit more.
Yeah, because it shouldn't run off the spoon.
It's not
Yeah.
running off the spoon.
Another 2-3 minutes.
Another 2. You're just trying to give me a workout. You are.
Yep.
Come on, work it, baby, work it.
Another 2-3.
Oh.
Fucking wrist, Sam. It's never going to work like that.
Hey, you can come and do it if you want. I'm no good at this
You're not
business.
playing bass.
Use a fork.
Comes out of you that I can't play bass.
No.
You're like.
Hey, that's
You
getting
need to-
quite hard. That is. That now. I think that's right. That's not going anywhere, look. That's
it. There you go.
it is.
What does it taste like?
Cream.
It tastes like cream with loads of rum in it.
Well, that's what you want.
Because I put a bit.
I'm
more
going
in
for it.
Right, so moving on to the chocolate bit. Literally just pour all that in and it'll find its own way and cover up. And you said you got little burnt bits, yeah?
Yeah,
And they're all covered up now, yeah?
there will be. So it looks better.
Yeah, but the little burnt bits
Yeah.
like that, you just have a
crunch
crispier
it.
base, that's all.
Good.
And just give it, like, get all that chocolate out, don't waste any, and then just give it a little, like, shake and it'll just level itself out. Then that needs to go back in the fridge, and in about half an hour, that will have set up, and then you just chuck your chocolate on. Your chocolate. Chuck your cream on.
Cream.
Yeah.
And the flake on top.
Yeah, you can do the flake on top. I was going to try and put my swans on. I'm going to see if I can do that in a second, because I'm going to rush through mine. Just show people what's what. But I reckon you two guys need to get your fridge. Need to wait about 20 minutes. Let that pan. Once the pan's cool to touch, you'll be good to go.
Gary.
Hello.
I'm on a health kick.
Yeah,
So I'm
don't need.
making mine a healthy thing. So can I leave the icing sugar out of the cream?
Yeah, it isn't going to make much. It's only 2 teaspoons,
Yeah,
2
no.
tablespoons. Hey, it's the icing sugar just adds a little bit of sweetness. Just makes the cream taste
I
better.
won't
Some
Do I
people
put the cream in the fridge? I'll put the cream in the
Gary, I don't need any extra sweetness, trust me. Look, that's
No.
going on top.
are getting all that.
Right.
I've
So
got
I've got-
Get your cream in the fridge, that'd be good. Rather than leaving it.
fridge. Oh, my hat fell off.
So you need to get your chocolate base in the fridge, Sam. Get that cooling
Yeah.
down. And your cream, get that in the fridge as well if you can.
Aye.
And lick the bowl.
I can do that. I've been trained to do that since I was an ickle boy.
I was going to say exactly the same.
My mama used to let me lick the bowl.
Oh. Right, now I'm going to tidy down, and I'm going to see if I can get on and do mine, just so everybody can see what we should be doing. What's the
20
time?
minutes.
How long have we been on? Oh, I'm going to pass an hour and a half.
It's past.
So we've been on an hour and a half. Right, I'm going to attempt to do mine, but you lot shouldn't be doing it because I've just found my chocolate and it's not set up yet because it's just too warm. But I'm going to get it on there just so you can see what we do. I'm going to get my decorations on there, but everybody else, you really do need to wait like 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Basically, when you go into your fridge, fill your pan. If that's sort of cooled down and your chocolate's set across, then you can dump your cream on. Then you can put your decorations where you're going with decorations. Flakes, chocolate, what was it, she? What did Josie have? Mushrooms and things and
Mushrooms?
Yeah. Didn't you see Josie? She's got magic mushrooms on hers.
Oh, yeah.
Do they need to put their cream in the fridge?
Yeah, if you can pop your fridge, everybody, just if you're going to be waiting half an hour, because I'm assuming like us it's pretty warm. So, if it just goes a little bit runny when you come back to using it, it'll take about a quick minute whip up just to give it that stiffness again that you need.
Oh, not another one, Gary.
Sorry?
Not another whipping.
Yeah, only literally like 30 seconds, because you might come back to that in half an hour, and it's just sometimes cream has a habit of just going like that. You just give it a quick, and it comes back up again. So,
How's it go, Gary? How's it go?
How's it go?
there you go. Right, I seriously suggest nobody does this because it's just, if I show you mine, I mean, it's still warm and you can see my chocolate is not set at all. But
I suggest you don't do that, Gary.
yeah, I need to figure out what we got to do, so I'm going to wing it and it'll be all right for us in the morning once it all sets.
Wing it.
Oh, well, tonight, yeah, it'll be ready in about half an hour. So basically, I've got my lovely fluffy rum cream, and literally just empty all of that.
All creamy.
Beautiful.
So you empty all that. Yeah. If you don't like as much cream, you don't have to put as much cream. You can have like a lesser cream base.
More the better.
The problem is my cream's starting to melt and it's moving around on the chocolate, but I'll be able to cover it up so no one will notice. And then you just sort of push it all to the edges.
Spread that cream.
That's it. Spread the cream.
Oh.
So when we cool down and you cut it in a minute or half hour or whenever you're going to eat it, you'll have all them layers. You'll have the biscuit base. You're going to have your fudge brownie. You're going to have your chocolate ganache, thick sort of pasty, chocolatey, lovely spread, and then this rum cream across the top.
It's like a little bit of sex in a pan, isn't it?
It is.
Pretty much. I tell you, it is proper sickly, but it is a really good pudding.
Liquid puddings are the best puddings, though, let's be honest.
Smaller tin.
Yeah.
So he's going to wait till it cools down.
Yeah, this is probably a deeper tin. Definitely wait, John. Definitely wait. Right, I'm going to see if I can get a couple of these. See if I can get some swans on here. I might even try and put these wicked ribbons if it's set up on there.
Decoration.
Yeah, but you lot go with your what do you call it?
Your flake.
I did buy 4, but I ate 3. Luckily, I managed
I've only
to
got
salvage
one left.
one.
That's right, Sam. Good housekeeping. Good housekeeping.
I've got so much washing up to do. So much.
The dishwasher's done mine.
That there, you can, because I've turned it around. Right, so I'm going to attempt, see if my swans have come off.
Wow.
Yeah, but this is where the headlight breaks off.
Yeah.
So you pop a little swan in there like so.
That looks like a Loch Ness monster.
Oi. Actually, it does, doesn't it? I mean, normally what I would do is have a bit of whipped cream, but I ain't got time to start whipping cream up.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh, it looks like a swan now.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a swanish, doesn't it?
A
Yeah,
black
well,
swan.
You only have to do what? I'm not going to do another one.
You should have done it with white chocolate.
Yeah. Got black swan there.
Isn't it?
Oh, mind you, the
it's
white would have been
politically-
lost on the white, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's politically correct now, isn't it?
Oh, don't start that one.
If I had white swans, we'd have been in
Don't,
trouble.
shut up.
Alright.
Guys,
I've just received a nice little bucket of KFC.
No.
Yeah, man. It's
I'm coming. I'm on my way.
No.
It's been
I
delivered
can't
to me.
even. I don't even know the last time I've had one of those. Do you know? I
Yeah,
think Gary needs to do Bake Off,
I
showing
need
you how to make
KFC.
KFC or crap food. But our way
Well,
back.
I hadn't had any fast food,
Oh.
but then I had a Subway, followed by a McDonald's, followed by a KFC. So very healthy that weekend.
I do like Subways. Oh, I love
Italian
the
BMT on hearty Italian with extra ranch sauce. That's how we go with it.
Extra ranch and cheese.
No.
Foot long.
Stop promoting KFC, Sam. No.
I'm not. Look, can't even see the logo.
Don't ask him. Don't encourage him,
He's
Josie.
got a bargain bucket.
Right.
no, I'm
If
living
I-
my dream of room right now.
They're on KFC now.
Right, so if I just show everybody what kind of, you got some swans there, kind of look like swans. But I mean, if you had a load of them, I've done various different decorations there. You can see how they go in. Normally, I'd have swirls of cream and put them in that. But I'm kind of just showing you ideas that if you want to like experiment a bit, you can do these, and you can just have various different things. But look how cool they! I mean, obviously that's not how I do it, because you'd have all the same. I'm literally just chucking all different bits in here just so you can get the idea of how they go.
It's very, very decorative, Gary. Very decorative.
Oh, it's very hit and miss at the moment. I'm going to see if I can get... This here it's not quite set up, so this might not work. I should have... Yeah, nah, this ain't going to come out. You should really put it in the fridge. But
Well,
if
it's
I
quite
can-
warm in the kitchen as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
if I can pop... These broke. Oh, crap.
Do that.
What done is you'd have like 8 bits like that with all the lattice there, and you pop them in, and then you have a whole cake, and it's all up with. Imagine like that we've got there, them all in there. I mean, how cool is that? Then it's not that hard to do, and you literally just pop them in, and you have the divine. And you just make that nice height to your cake.
Gary, you should add that to the pies in the post menu.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
never
that's
gonna-
never get there.
Never going to go through the pies and the
Fragile.
We put that on anyway. But no.
Right, I'm not getting off. Right, so there's my kind of thing done. But if you watch, can everybody see it moving? Because my chocolate. Oh, yeah, so I need to get that back in the fridge.
Blancmange.
Yeah, but it will set up. Not a problem. So if everybody waits that half an hour, then they pop, because you should all have your cream on it now. You should all have
Ganache.
your chocolate ganache on it. That takes about
Ganache.
that. You pop that, like that should be in the fridge waiting. You've all got your cream whipped up, ready to go on it. So your next stage will be when the chocolate ganache is set, is pour the cream over like I did, spread it over. Josie's got weird and wonderful things to do. Another thing, I didn't get around to that today. Actually, I need because some of you have got a flake, haven't you? Oh, we need to.
Yeah.
Some of you have got flakes. which is personally it's the best thing to have on it. I think it's nice and simple. It's really good.
Put KFC on it, Sam.
Hey, don't tempt me.
Sorry. So, imagine none of that's there. Got no decorations on there at all. It's all set up properly. It's not moving around. Just take your flake
Only the crumble.
and literally just crumble your flake all over the top. I'm literally going to go the whole way over anyway, even though I've got them silly little decorations and swans there. So if you imagine...
Don't call them silly.
They've got feelings, you know.
Your heart and soul went into
You
me.
made them, they're alive now.
So imagine there's no swans there, and then you need to tilt that me up a bit. There you go. So no swans there, and then you've got this awesome cake with chocolate on, rum cream. You could have rum, cloven hoof rum, chocolate ganache. You've got your awesome biscuit base, and you've got like the gooey fudge brownie.
So what is the name of that?
That there is the River Wicked.
Ryders.
No, the Ryders River Mud Pie. That's it, isn't it? Is that it, Josie? The Ryders River
With
Mud Pie.
essence of Swan Lake.
Yes. The black
And
swan.
then when that sets up, so I'll run through it one more time for everybody.
It's gonna rum through it.
Gonna run through it. And then we
I'm
should
going to run to you.
So everybody should have a base in there, covered in ganache, sitting in the fridge. You should be ready in about 20 minutes now, I reckon. Once it's firm across the top to touch, because your chocolate will set, get your cream on it. Put that over. Your cream might need a quick 30 seconds whip up, unless you're Sam, of course, and it'll probably take about 10 minutes to do his. But it won't take long to do. And then just firm that back up and spread that over. Put your flake over, your magic mushrooms or whatever other sort of stuff that you want to put on it. Get it back in the fridge, give it about another half an hour, and it should be ready to cut open. And then we need pictures from everybody that's done it. I need pictures of the whole thing, and I need pictures of a slice so we can see your layers. And then these three guys are going to pick the best one for the week, and then they shall receive some cloven hoof goodies, who have kindly donated, sponsored, whatever we call it, to you lot for all your best bakers. Sorry.
Bourbon.
Oh yeah. Well, let's have a last shot before we go. There's no more questions from anybody. Hopefully everybody's.
I'm not there.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I'll pop that back up. So we're
Yeah.
just going to see if there's any more questions. So before we run off, anybody's got any questions? Message help. She can get hold of you. She can pass them on to me. You three, all right? You all know what you're doing?
Yeah, I am well and truly.
Wait another 10 minutes.
Yeah, everybody. Basically, once that chocolate's firm to touch, you're good to go. And then taking it out, obviously you've got a spring-loaded base. If it sticks a little bit, just get a knife and ease it out gently. And then take your lid, your spring base off. And it's good to go. I'm just getting mine back in the fridge. But once you get your cream on, I reckon you should be able to cut it in about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour. And it should be good to go. So I suppose, any questions, fire them away. We'll give it another 5 minutes before we shoot off.
John's not going to be ready until about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's good, John. Not a problem. I mean, to be fair, the longer you can leave it, the better anyway. So, Josie, if you want yours to be extra special, don't rush
I
that
have
cream
a
off.
question.
What?
Does it always have to be sweet pies, or are you going to do savoury pies one week?
Look at doing KFC.
People have asked me this. So I'm not gonna do savoury pies because I need to sell pies, don't I? If I give all my secrets away,
I thought you were going to, yeah, it's your signature, so you don't want people to know your secret.
I got that, didn't I? I meant to say. Everybody watching, we do pies in the post. Everybody watching, we do pies in the post. Yeah, I can't give all my secrets. I don't mind doing stuff like this, but we did do a butter chicken a few weeks back, which is pretty popular.
Yeah, Geraldine's.
A few people have asked for savoury things, so I might have something savoury coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, if people fancy that. The only problem is their ingredients is secret. It's impossible find out exactly what it is, but I can get
Right.
close to it. But there's a special way to get the. What's that? There's a special way to get the chicken nice and soft. But it's so
We'll leave that
simple.
there then, Gary. We'll leave that there.
Yeah, we could do that. I did have an idea. We did chicken Kiev. Who likes chicken Kiev?
As long as it's not garlic sauce.
Yeah, in paste and with breadcrumbs on the outside. So rather than on the chicken, so it's like a chicken Kiev pie, and that's really nice. So maybe we do that one week. Show everybody out. Then they can all sit down and eat their dinner. Then can't you? To do it at the right
Anything
time.
in a pie, I'm game.
Darren Edwards said that his didn't sink very much. Can he put his ganache on now?
Yeah, it's not a problem, Dan. Just chuck it on. If it hadn't sunk, it doesn't matter because your ganache is going to set, and your ganache is like it's like concrete. It just goes across and levels. If you notice, like when we put yours on there, you would have noticed, like, it just levels it all off. So if it hasn't sunk, it doesn't matter. Your chocolate is just your leveling.
He's going to get the charger.
Just chuck it on. Out for the best. Ouch.
You might just have to stand up for 5 minutes. We ain't got too long to go now anyway. Right, so any more questions? I think everybody's there. I just, before we do shoot off, I'd like to say thanks to you two guys for coming and joining us. It's been quite good fun.
Oh, thank you.
It's been great.
Don't forget
Thoroughly enjoyable.
everything. And everybody else, make sure you get your pictures whole and slices in. It'd be great to know how everybody got on. Thanks to Cloven Hoof Rum for sorting out some prizes and
Mr.
stuff
Paul Stanley.
and everything.
The man, the legend.
Yeah, we got that. Thanks to Rock People Management for sorting all this out. I've not done too much of this, so I've just let Josie do it all, and she's sorted it all out. I just today.
Carol Jenkinson said, how does she order pies?
Carol Jenkinson, if you Google me, Premier Pastries, you will find us on there, so you can email it to me. Our phone number's on there, and you can give me a bell, and we can have a chat, and I can sort out sending you guys in the post, not a problem. 079 303 4914. Business head on.
Helen Grossman said, what bits were in the base?
Bourbon biscuits.
Shot.
Okay, yeah, I forget that one. Bourbon biscuit shot. You can start drinking shots now, Sam. You're allowed.
How much rum have you got left, Sam?
Yeah,
I've got
me.
loads of rum left. Loads. Look at that.
We're
Barely
doing
touched it.
massive wagon wheels next week, which uses rum as well. So save some for that. And we're doing finest rum shackle baked Alaska in a few weeks' time as well.
All right, I'll give ours back, Josie.
I was just kind of going down.
So massive wagons next week.
Yeah, so we've got Baz from Massive Wagons next week. That's going to be fun. Yeah, we're going to do a massive wagon wheel. So it's going to be like yay big, and it's like a shortbready type thing, and it has the marshmallows and a fresh strawberry jam through it. But the strawberry jam will be laced with cloven rum. So we're going to have like a rum taste to it, and then I might rum in the ganache on the outside, and then I've tried to figure out a little decoration to go on top. You lot won't be able to do it. I don't even think I can do it, but I'm going to try and surprise Baz with a nice little thing. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Surprising. Surprise.
Yeah, if it works. I haven't done it for about 20 years. Got to remember how to do it.
And then the week after you're doing those, aren't you?
And the 11th, isn't it? With Hoss, isn't it? Is it
Those
Hoss
or
or Hoss? Say again.
Even Hasselhoff.
Hoss.
Like Moss with a H. Moss.
Moss with a Hoss. Yeah, so we're doing that, and we're doing what we're doing baked Alaska
Lost.
with cloven hoof ice cream. if we
Their
can do
album
it.
came out yesterday and it's awesome. So they're
Actually, I had it on just now. It's quite good.
really good. Yeah,
Right,
so that's
Find
finest
people about
jam. So we're making finest rum shackle jam baked Alaska.
Yeah, and then I'm hoping to set fire to it, but I think Heidi was panicking a bit.
Oh, don't worry about that.
She was telling me a story.
Bill's hair will set on fire.
Yeah, but if I do it and I keep sober, it's not too dangerous. We can just turn the lights down. It's a bit like Christmas dinner. What was it?
with the pudding.
Yeah, Christmas pudding and a little bit of. Just it adds a bit of
A
raspberry.
little bit of what, Gary? A little bit of what?
A little bit of razzmatazz.
Hey, are we having a full
you're
cocktail
like on my-
pool session right now, Lee? Is that what's happening? Yeah. The only thing.
Cool.
And everybody, give me pictures. Give me pictures, whole and slices. These guys are going to judge the best, and then winner will be announced in, well, I don't know, whenever you lot decide who wins, isn't it?
Announce the winner on Monday. That gives everyone tomorrow to post their pictures, and then Monday evening we'll announce the winner.
Okay. I'm leaving.
Sorted, Baby Chop.
Post it on the page. Do that.
Mine will be gone
Well,
by
take
tomorrow.
Take before we do it. Well, and then the first cup. Right. So is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Can we sort of sign off and we can finish? There's nobody else. You got about 30 seconds to ask Helen anything. If you don't, we're all going to go. If after, you can just message me if you got any issues, and then I'll sort it through. Not a problem.
What's the best biscuit to use in the base?
For what? This?
Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Shop.
Can you use other biscuits though? Like, could you make it with party?
You said
I'm trying to say.
You can do it with any biscuits, whatever you want.
But darker the better.
Yeah, because we were doing chocolate biscuits in it, basically, because it's a Mississippi mud pies with chocolate.
Trying to save some of this rum for the lads, and all you're saying is Bourbon.
Come on, you're like half empty. Mine's got to last. That's got to last for 3 bakes, isn't it? No, another 2 bakes, isn't it?
It's going to be ramshackle jam at this rate.
Yeah, no rumshackle jam.
Helen said, can she use her apricot jam? Because she's still got some left.
Apricot jam,
On
Helen,
the
for what?
The wagon wheel.
For the wagon wheel. Yeah, you can use that if you want, not a problem. But it always looks better red because basically a wagon wheel is red. But a wagon wheel is like really good. It's like really, really tasty. It is like just a huge, massive wagon wheel.
We've done it for download for them, didn't we?
Yeah, but it is good. Right, I think we need to sign off now, and we need to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for turning up. Thank you to you guys, and
Hey guys.
au revoir.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, thanks
It's
for coming,
been
guys.
thoroughly enjoyable.
All right, who's turning it off? You do that, Josie, do you?
You do it. No, you do it.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.